Man who voted for Trump twice has surprising opinion about Biden's move.
New CNN reporting this morning.
This literally seems like a joke. This seems like a parody of CNN, by the way. Like, they found one guy that voted for Trump twice that is a surprising take about Biden. Who cares? Y'all had to cut coverage over, like, what the It's literally like an Onion article.
Republicans are working on a legal strategy to overturn President Joe Biden's plan for student loan forgiveness that could wipe out up to $20,000 in debt for certain borrowers. CNN's Miguel Marquez has been talking to voters in Biden's hometown of Scranton, Pennsylvania, to see what they think of the plan. And he's with us live now. What are they telling you, Miguel?
Yeah, good morning there, Brianna. Look, we came up here expecting that Republicans across the board would be 100% against student loan forgiveness. What we discovered is that a lot of people are affected by student debt, and some Republicans aren't exactly against forgiveness.
Welcome to the Farmers Market, beautiful downtown Scranton, Pennsylvania.
The market here, the real deal.
Pennsylvania polka.
Farmers from the area selling what they grow.
What kind of season are you having?
We're having a fair season. It's been dry. It's hurt us a lot on our second crop.
Jim Shurg has farmed here for 50 years. Like many Republicans, he says if one borrows money, they should pay it back.
It's a loan, it's a loan.
Right.
Whether I take a loan to buy the farm, I have to pay it back. They're taking a loan to get an education, they should pay it back.
But some Republicans?
Well, it seems like the country right now is moving towards socialism.
Philip Rosiowski voted for Trump twice. Doesn't like the direction of the country, but on student loans?
Myself, I still have a lot of student loans to take care of for my children.
Rosiowski says he is not against student loan forgiveness and will see if he or his kids qualify.
There has to be some change, and that's what I'm voting for, change.
84-year-old Tom Depew, a moderate Republican and former banker, says debts should be repaid, but views student debt differently.
My daughters all went through college. They have student loans. I like to see it. It helps them, but all this giveaway and all this free money, somebody's going to pay the price.
A sentiment resonating with working-class voters. For decades, they've drifted toward the GOP. From the early 2000s, exit polls indicate Republicans typically want about 60% of white, non-college educated voters. Democrats, about 40%. That split widened through Obama and Trump. Biden halted it, performing a few points better than Clinton in 2016.
We're almost in heaven. We're almost in Scranton. Almost.
He left. He abandoned Pennsylvania. He abandoned Scranton.
Both parties competing for votes here in battleground PA.
How big a piece of your own personal economy are student loans?
The funniest part about this is that, like, yes, Idisher is correct. Donald Trump literally subsidized farmers during the tariff wars against China. That was actually, to a certain degree, paid for by Americans. Whereas, like, the student loan debt is just debt that the government owns. Farmers get taxpayer-funded subsidies. Student loan debt is just government money, okay? You can, if you want, cut policy to, like, tackle the budget or whatever, and the way to do that is by taxing people if you would want. But ultimately, it's not even coming out of anyone's pockets. Like, it's just weird that they keep saying that.
Loans.
Oh, that's a huge part of my economy, the student loans. I mean, that's what I'm looking to hopefully get taken care of.
28-year-old Tyler Cholvik graduated in 2018. He works downtown Scranton at a local pharmacy. He says today he's carrying about $36,000 in student debt.
Starting a business down the road is something that I'd be very interested in. And I mean, my current debt situation has made that significantly more difficult.
Student debt a factor for just about everyone.
If you're saddled with this unbelievable amount of debt, it's going to set you back.
Local business owner Micah Woodard, 40 years old, recently paid off his student loans. His wife is still paying, and their son has just started college and is taking on debt.
And we had that conversation of, if you go to Temple, this is how much debt you're going to have to take on. If you go to Westchester, this is how much debt. This is how much we can help pay, but this is how much debt. So those were very large parts of the conversation.
For many here, the spiraling cost of college.
Yeah, is debt just disappearing? Yes, it's debt that the government owns already. So it's literally a signature.
Weighing its benefit.
I have kids. Some of them have student loans. We're not wealthy. And you can pay and never touch the principal. It wasn't that way when I was young.
Here in the Electric City and across the country, the accumulation of student debt touching just about everyone.
And look, no one on the left or the right that we spoke to here thought that the student loan forgiveness program was really going to affect voters one way or the other. For the midterms, for instance, they didn't think it'd make much of a difference. But in a tight state like Pennsylvania, where races can be so tight, few votes on the margins can make all the difference. Back to you guys.
Miguel, what about people who don't have student debt? Are they supporting this?
This was one of the most maybe surprising things. We spoke to a lot of people, elderly people, who either didn't go to college or their debts are long beyond them, or they didn't even have debt when they got through college. Their kids, their grandkids, they're seeing them struggle with it, and it affects them. They are even for some.
Oh, wow. It's like CNN had to send someone on the ground to finally comprehend that, like, when there's 45 million Americans that collectively hold $1.7 trillion of student loan debt, that it's literally harder to find someone that's completely unaffected by this or know someone that's affected by this than the other way around. Unless you're in the media, in which case every one of the dumb that goes on your broadcast went to Harvard and got it paid for with daddy's money. How will we figure it out? How will we find some Americans that have like normal takes on student loan debt? That's crazy. Oh, damn, dude. That's cool. Thank you, CNN, for this coverage a week after doing like the most insane agitprop against it.